my wildest dreams did I envision myself telling my story in front of a group, let alone joining Toastmasters to improve my speaking and delivery skills. Now, this isn't the first time I have shared in front of an audience. Over the past 14 years, I've had at least 10 opportunities to share my story for at least 45 minutes or more, each time helping other people stay clean and sober from drugs and alcohol. So my name is Scott Kixmiller, and I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina. My parents divorced when I was 5. My dad remarried when I was 6, and my mom remarried when I was 11. Out of that, I ended up with one brother, 2 half-sisters, and 1 stepbrother. Now, even though I had 2 families, my childhood was relatively normal. Now, in terms of speaking, I gave my first speech when I was 8 years old, when I ran for student council in Florida. In the 6th grade, I gave a speech to run for student council president, and also in the same year, I spoke in front of the Charlotte City Council to reduce the speed limit in my neighborhood. Now, other speaking opportunities that I've had throughout the years include in 7th grade, I took a public speaking class, and then also in college, I took public speaking as well. Now, when I was 13, I joined Boy Scouts. By the time I was 16, I became an Eagle Scout. But also during this time, at age 13, I started smoking cigarettes and smoking marijuana. And as my teens progressed, I started drinking alcohol and using other drugs. By the time I was 18, I ended up in rehabilitation, and I was still in high school. But I got clean and sober. I graduated high school and ended up attending college at Appalachian State in Boone. And while I was there, I was sober for a year and a half. I went to 12-step meetings, and I also stopped hanging out with people that had negative influences. Also, to further my leadership skills, I became a resident assistant in the dorm that I was living in, and I held that position for 2 years. But by my mid-sophomore year, I succumbed to temptation, and I smoked marijuana again. That started a 5.5-year run that brought me to my knees, where friends were going to jail, and a good friend of mine overdosed and died. Even though I was in active addiction, I managed to graduate with a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Technology and became a graphic designer, advertising professional. Finally, on August 14th, 1998, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I checked into residential treatment here in Greensboro, and I haven't looked back since. After treatment, I lived in a halfway house. Then I lived in another house with 6 other men for 16 months. That is exactly what I needed to stay away from drinking and drug use. By 2005, after becoming tired of sitting behind a desk staring at a computer all day, I ended up working at the treatment center that I attended 7 years prior. It inspired me to go back to school at UNC Chapel Hill, and I got a Master's of Social Work degree so that I could become a substance abuse counselor. I started school in 2007. I graduated in 2010. I became a licensed clinical social worker, a licensed clinical addiction specialist, 2 of the highest credentials in the state of North Carolina. I'm currently employed as an independent counseling therapist at the Ringer Center here in Greensboro. It's a local outpatient mental health and substance abuse treatment facility. There I run an intensive outpatient group for substance abusers, and I see individuals on a one-on-one basis. And finally, this year, actually at the end of July, I got married for the first time. have children as a result of that marriage. Now, was this a dream of mine of what I wanted to be when I grew up? No, absolutely not. But what I have learned is that I have been able to turn my affliction of addiction, or if you like, my liabilities, into assets so that I can be of service to others. Today, I desire to learn